Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
I think they're all applauding for me.
Of course. I mean, look at you and look at me. Who do you think they're applauding for?
They're applauding for me. I'm Alison Bedell.
I'm Skip Bedell, and thanks everybody for coming back to Hammer and Nails podcast each and every week. Here we are once again, doing our thing. It's Tip Tuesday, too.
It's Tip Tuesday.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We
Lots of good stuff going on.
Yeah, we got some new interesting questions, and we also have. I wanted to catch up on some news events.
And some stuff we've been doing, right?
And stuff we've been doing.
Interesting last couple of days, too,
Yeah.
since the last time we talked with you guys.
Yeah, let's get...
A lot going on.
Before we do that, actually, I just wanted to remind everybody where they can listen to us if they are anywhere else on the internet. You can also go to hammerandnailspodcast.com. hammerandnailspodcast.com. And not only will you get the podcast at hammerandnailspodcast.com, but that's also our full website where you can look at the homepage and see what we've been up to recently. And
kinds of cool videos. All
but
the
speaking
stuff
about
doing, right?
most recently
all
on
the porn that we're making.
Shut up. On the homepage is always like the most recent stuff that we've been doing. And the most recent thing that's on our website that we have been doing was Friday's appearance on Fox and Friends.
Yeah, that's right. That was a great day in the city, doing the whole DIY segment out in the street on 6th Avenue in front of the Fox building and talking about some great Home Depot products.
That was a really good day. It was supposed to be raining and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was
so we
really
lucked
freezing
out.
out.
Yeah, because the outdoor segments, it's always like hit or miss. This is the fifth one I've done now, out on the street in front of, because they won't let me in the building. By the way, I've been trying. I've been trying to get in the building, but they're like, nah, you're not really quite there yet. You can just stay out on the sidewalk, though. We'll send an extra kid now.
No, they're all really nice there.
Yeah, they're awesome over there.
But it was very cool because not only did your segment go really well, but they had some other guests there that day that we were just so... Like, the timing was awesome that we were there on the same day. So the first person that we saw while we were sitting in the green room waiting for your segment to come up was George Hamilton.
Yeah.
So he was sitting there in all of his tan glory.
Which, by the way, the green room is always kind of a cool place because the green room is like, it's just like, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's kind of the same when you're in the green room. You're just hanging out and you're just like, no one's like really has their guard up and all that stuff. They're just kind of there and chilling and waiting to go and do their thing or do their segment or do their interview, whatever.
Right.
So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like when we go to these red carpet things and stuff like that where it's industry only and people are just kind of like, it's not like the celebrities and the fans and they're all on, they don't want to talk to everybody. Like when you're in that environment, everybody is just kind of like, oh, hey, what are you doing?
They have their guard down, which is more so what it's like.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a relaxed place.
Yeah, so they have these giant TVs on the wall in there too, so you can see the program, the Fox and Friends program, while you're waiting to go on it.
Yeah.
And so that particular day they had George Hamilton there because he was going to talk about what was it, like celebrities getting involved talking about politics and taking a side
and tanning.
And so but what was also coincidental that he was there was that Geraldo Rivera also has his news program or he's got a thing on the Fox News. He's got a news program on Fox.
Right.
So he was there also. He was there the last time we were there too, but he was like way at the other end of the hall, and I didn't go down there to introduce myself.
Yeah, he's a super busy guy.
Yeah.
And we just heard that great interview that he did with Howard Stern, which is really awesome. We really learned a lot about like his life and just very
just the week before.
Yeah.
So when Skip was outside and he was getting all of his stuff ready, the whole faux kitchen set up. And I was getting a cup of coffee right outside the green room, and Geraldo walked over to get some coffee. And I turned my head to the left, and it was him. And I was like, "Hey, Geraldo!" Like I felt like I knew him because we just listened to that interview with him. I felt so comfortable, you know. So I was like, "Hey, Geraldo!" Yeah. And he's like, "Hi!" And I was like, "Oh, I was just listening to the interview on Howard Stern just last week." I said, "I feel like I know you." And
it's always so cool, like, you know, like whenever we do these kinds of things, because again, like that whole atmosphere, you never know who's going to walk in, and you know, a lot of times they don't tell us. Sometimes they do. They tell us who else is going to be on the show that morning or whatever.
yeah, we knew that Vince Gill was going to be there.
Yeah, Vince Gill was there. So
And
it's
I don't
like,
know any of his music, but I know his name, and I know he's a big country star.
yeah, so we're just like sitting there, and you know, one minute George Hamilton walks in and sits down next to us, and you know, we're chatting, and then Vince Gill walks in with his acoustic guitar and sits down on the couch next to us and just starts to like warm up and play a couple of tunes, and I'm just looking around. I'm like,
holy crap!
it's
It's
pretty
like
cool.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, and then Geraldo sachets in.
Yeah, so I was talking to Geraldo, and I was and Skip was outside, so. I don't even remember what we were saying. I was talking about the interview, and then I said, "Hey, you mind if I get a selfie with you?" And he's like, "Sure." So he got next to my face, and I was going to take a picture. Now, normally I'd be like trying to get just the right pose so it would be a good picture, but I was like, "Fuck, I can't like really fuck around too much with him standing right here waiting for me to snap the picture."
Oh, you are a pain in the ass
I am.
with the freaking camera, because you're like, all right, well, we
Because
gotta
I'm
adjust
ugly,
your
and it's
lighting,
all a
you got to
facade.
touch the screen, and you got to brighten it up and hit the flash and dial it in. And
Because
it's like,
all of my good pictures are a facade. I hate how I look. I don't look.
Smoke
I didn't look
and
good.
mirrors.
So yeah, exactly. So I needed to get
I
the right
can
pose.
never take a good picture of you, by the way. Anytime I've ever taken a picture, you're like, give me that.
Well, you take
Let me
shitty
see
pictures
it.
and shitty selfies.
And then it's like, don't post that.
Your selfies suck.
Take another one.
Yeah, you like turn into like some freak when you go to take a selfie. It's
I
like,
have a weird
what the
selfie
fuck
face,
face
right?
is that?
I know.
Look
I
like
don't know
an
what
idiot.
happens to my face when I take
You'd
a
like
selfie.
make a face like
no,
you're
you know
like,
what it
like
is?
an idiot.
Because I'm looking at the screen. I think like I should.
And you make a face that's not yours. It's like, who is that douchebag?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I think it's because I'm just like, you know, I'm conscious of like you have like a crooked smile or this or that or whatever. Whatever it
Yeah,
is,
stop with
whenever
that
I can
face.
see my face and I'm taking a selfie with the screen facing me, that's the worst thing I can do. I should just like turn the camera around the other way.
Yes, I always have to say to you, look at the dot. Don't look at yourself. Because first of all, when the picture's taken, your eyes are looking at off to the side because it's not looking at the lens. And then not to mention, you got the crooked, stupid face. So anyway, I'm taking a picture.
A stupid face. That's great. Thanks.
I'm taking a picture of Geraldo, and he's like really close to my face because obviously it's a selfie, and he's breathing, and I can smell his breath, and
Was
all
it
I can
good?
say, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Was it like minty and like?
No,
Was it
but it
morning
was-
breath? Because this is like this is
No.
like we get there at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it was
by the
very
way.
early, but no, his breath, it didn't have a particular smell to it. It didn't smell like coffee or gum or anything. Like it was just. It was pleasant, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Yeah, I was like, I was about to try to kiss him, and then I was like, no. He was just talking last week on Howard about how, you know, he's faithful to his wife. He used to cheat all the time, and now he doesn't.
That's funny.
No, because, you know, like sometimes if you try to take a cute selfie, and then like you go to turn your, like you always do this to me. When we go to take a selfie, you know, at the last second you turn your face and you kiss me.
Yeah.
I was thinking like that,
Yeah.
like to get like kissing Geraldo,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait a minute, he's gonna think I'm like some freak.
Yeah, he probably would have been like,
Get me kicked
okay,
out.
that's the end of the selfie session. Thanks very much, strange lady.
Get her
Bye.
out of here.
Security.
Yeah. But,
You're like licking the side of his face, nibbling on his earlobe and shit. He'd be like,
I would have done it just to be funny, but
hello?
no. Yeah. No, but he was very nice, actually. He was very, very nice. He's very thin, right? He had a suit on, so but you could, if you looked, you can tell he's a small guy. He's got a head that's bigger, like
Well, he's got like a full head of hair.
He's got
right?
a full
that
head.
Geraldo head of hair, yeah.
Skinny
That's what we were
body.
talking about. Well, they were talking on the Stern interview
Yeah.
about like he still has his full head of hair, and Howard Stern too. He's got a crazy head of hair.
Yeah.
It was interesting because Howard's like, this is my real color. Like, you know, it's jet black, and he said he's never dyed his hair, which I don't think
I believe it.
You believe it?
I believe it.
Oh, what is he, like 60? How old
So
is he? Like
much.
late? I mean, come on. He doesn't have one gray hair? That's
Maybe
hard to
he
believe.
does, but there's people who have
And then
good hair.
Geraldo, to counter that, he's like, I have no idea what color my hair is.
You know what? Me too, dude. Me too.
He gets it colored like every other day.
I have been coloring my
Yeah.
hair since college.
That's funny.
And I haven't let it grow in natural since college. So between the, you know, I know that naturally I have very light brown hair, and in the front it turns blonde.
Right.
But when the roots just grow in alone, it looks much darker. And now with the gray, it's hideous.
Does the carpet match the curtains?
There is no carpet.
Right. just putting it out there. Hardwood floors all
Yeah,
around.
well, hardwood floors.
That's right. You know, I'm
So-
a wood guy.
Yeah.
I like the hardwood.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't sound right.
That
That didn't say. All right. Edit that. Edit that out. Take that out. I didn't mean it like that. You guys know what I mean.
So anyway,
Not
so
that kind of wood.
I texted Skip. I'm like, get in here. At first, I sent to him a picture of the selfie, but he wasn't looking at his phone, so he didn't.
I was out on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
like building the set
Yeah.
with the Home Depot guys, and we're like putting together my kitchen and bathroom display.
So I then called him and I was like, get your ass in here right away. Geraldo's right here. Hurry up, hurry up.
Yeah.
So he would literally was in in 30 seconds he was in. So then we walked down the hallway.
We got some great pictures with him too.
Yeah, I introduced you to him. And then George had also gotten down the hallway because he was about to go do his segment on the show. So now they're standing together, and they have the people, some of the Fox people there, the producers, taking a picture of them together. Like Geraldo gave his phone, George gave his phone. They wanted pictures on their own phone with the two of them together.
Right.
But you and I we didn't walk away. We first we were behind them while they were going to get their picture taken.
I was putting up like the rabbit
I
ears
know,
and stuff.
we would have totally been in. Nobody told us to move.
I was like total photobombing.
We would have totally photobombed their picture, and I was thinking, how fucking funny would that have been? But then I felt bad, we're going to ruin their picture. Yeah. So I was like, wait a minute, let's get, let's go around. So we went in front of them, and then when they got their picture taken, before they got a chance to walk away, we're like, wait, do you mind if we get a picture with you? And they were so gracious and nice, and they smiled great. And if you look at the picture, it's on our website. Yeah. HammerNailsPodcast.com. It's on the homepage. You'll see it's a really nice picture.
They were
of the four
also
of us.
talking about how the two of them had they I guess was it 40,
Geraldo interviewed
40
George.
years earlier. Or
Yeah,
was
Geraldo
it 40
had
or 30 or
so around that, in the 70s.
Right.
And Geraldo had interviewed George, and they were showing clips of that because it was on the beach, and they were both walking in their swim trunks.
Speedos.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Speedos, but they were shorts, but they were both shirtless with their
guys
little
wore some crazy short shorts back in the 70s.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, well, they were small shorts. Both of them had on. George had a better build than Geraldo. Geraldo is a skinny guy. Right. George had a nice,
pretty good shape though.
Yeah, he had a nice shape to him. But
didn't he just post a selfie recently of a
Geraldo did.
bathroom selfie, in the mirror? Another bathroom selfie.
Yeah,
right?
and his management at Fox made him take it down because they didn't think it was appropriate. Right. But so he was talking about that selfie on the Howard Stern show.
Right. Now he's 70, right? Or 73.
Yeah, and George Hamilton 77.
You know what's really crazy about that is he still looks like
he looks the same.
He looks like Geraldo.
40.
Yeah. He didn't age.
He
it's so weird.
Yeah, he looked exactly the same.
Now when I saw that picture though, the selfie that he posted, he looked older in that picture. His hair was gray. Maybe he didn't have it colored then.
Well, this wasn't just a selfie though. I was actually surprised because I came across it by accident because that episode we had talked about selfies taken in the bathroom a few episodes back, and so I titled the episode "No Bathroom Selfies." So to make a picture for it, like I often do for these episodes, I was doing a Google search of bathroom selfies, and his came up. And then I was like, oh, this is the one he was talking about on Howard. So I look at the picture, and he was in the bathroom, but he was naked. But he had a towel just covering his junk. He was standing at a bathroom counter. So he was naked. It wasn't like he had a towel or even around his waist.
Right.
He had
So it's 73-year-old naked Geraldo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? He looked good though.
Good for his age.
Let me tell you something. I hope I look like that at 70. Well, yeah. I might have a little more meat on me, but yeah, no, he looked good though. He looked like he's in shape, right?
Yeah, no, he looked good. But you know what I did notice? I don't know if you noticed this too. When I was walking behind him. He has
grabbed his ass.
No, I could have had that whole ass in one hand. By the way, his whole ass. But he had a little bit of a limp, almost like old guy limp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's 73, man. He's not spring chicken anymore.
I know.
But he's getting out. He's doing all this stuff. He's traveling all around. He's still doing his thing, man. He's the most famous reporters that ever lived.
Yeah. And George Hamilton, when he was sitting, you were there, and then you walked away, and so I was still talking to him and his publicist, who was sitting on the couch with me.
Yeah.
And it was funny because at some point, George wanted to listen to what they were saying on the TV that was on the wall to my right, and he was sitting in a chair in front of me, in a singular chair. I was on a couch, and he couldn't hear the TV because they didn't have the volume up too high. So he scooted. You know how like a dog scoots his ass when he's trying to like wipe his ass on the grass? He kind of did that with his ass in the chair. He like scooted the chair closer to the TV with the newspaper in his hands, and he scooted, and he got real close to it, and he was like listening to TV. He was really nice. And then
what's cool about that is that they have all these TVs set up in the green rooms. Any TV type of thing that we've done in that format in the green rooms, always kind of like it. So you can see what's going on in each studio. So what they're showing on those screens is like the show that we're about to go on.
Yeah.
So all the people that are sitting in the green room with you, all waiting to go do their turn out on the studio, you can now see them out there doing their thing, like which is what the people at home are watching.
Oh God! So when Skip and I were looking at George, he looked. First of all, the first thing I had said to him when we first saw him was like, "Oh my God, I saw you like you were the guest on The View when I was an audience member."
Yeah.
And so the day that I went to the one time I went to see The View, he was the guest, and I was so looking forward to going to The View. This was back, I think, probably like around 2006.
Why?
Because they always have they always have gifts for the audience, like whatever they talk about on the show, and we've got one for everybody in the audience. You know what I mean? That was the show was very big for that. You always get something,
Right? Like Oprah, like Ellen.
Yeah, like something electronics or something very fucking cool. So that day when I went to The View, I got a George Hamilton book. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So I got his book. So then that week I promptly went to Barnes and Noble and tried to return it. And I did, and I got a refund on the.
Did you tell him that day?
No. So meanwhile, no. So I got the money back for the book because first of all, I don't read books.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even know they were giving out his books that day.
No, he knew. They say because the reason he was there was to promote his book.
Yeah.
So, you know what? And he was also talking about. Oh, it just came to me right now. That day on The View, he was talking about how he had an affair with his father's wife.
What?
Yeah, homeboy fucked his father's wife. Yep.
That's the stepmom.
Yes, he did. That's what he was talking about. That's also in that book. So anyway, so
Hollywood's
I returned the book.
fun.
Yeah. So when I said to him, "Oh, you were on The View, you were the guest," and he's like, "Oh, when was that?" Because I guess he was on multiple times. And I said, "Yeah, and I got your book."
Yeah.
And that's where I left it.
Right, yeah. He's like, "Oh, what'd you think? Did you like it?" And you were like,
No, he didn't ask me anything, thank God.
Were you like sweating the question coming?
I was afraid that he
What was your favorite chapter? What did you like the most about my book?
No, I'm glad that he didn't ask any questions. And
Would
I was
you,
glad
would
I
you
was
have
able...
told him? Would you have told him you returned it?
No, but I was glad that I was actually able to say that I got your book because that acknowledged the fact that I knew we had a book, which was nice for him.
He was very nice.
He was so nice.
Like a very gentleman-like. And he was funny. He was sitting there.
Oh, that conversation about...
Yeah, he was sitting there like with his legs crossed. He's reading the paper.
He was in a nice suit.
Yeah, he's always dressed like And we were talking about. He and I were having a conversation about just like generations, like how men dress now. And he's like, no one dresses like this anymore. He's like, I don't even dress like this anymore. He's like, when I'm just doing this show. But he's like, when I'm around the house, he's like, I walk around the house, I look like you. I'm in jeans and I was wearing a flannel shirt and very like what I usually wear, like my construction stuff, And so I was like, really? You do? Because that's funny, because when I walk around the house, I usually wear a suit like you. and he looked at me, he's like,
I look like you.
Like, no, you don't. No, but it's funny, because he's like, years ago, like 60s and 70s, 50s, whatever, like men wore suits like all the time.
All the time,
Even if you weren't like a business guy, like men wore sport jackets and they went out with a hat on and a tie and like everywhere you went, you had a pair of slacks and shoes and like nobody. So he was saying to me that like you go to any one of these Hollywood like movie houses now, like the production companies and stuff and the big movie studios and all the big producers and directors and everybody, all the executives, they're all walking around in jeans and like casual. Very casual attire, and he's like, it was never like that. So it's so different.
He was like a little bit like he seemed a little frail, right? Kind of.
Well, how old? I mean, he's got
77.
Oh yeah, so
yeah, he definitely seemed a little frail. But he was tan as always. So what I was gonna say before is he looked typical tan, and he looked good.
Yeah, he's always he's like the master of the tan, right?
So so then he went into the studio where they were doing his segment. He got on the couch with Brian Kilmeade and Steve Doocy and the new girl, and he's getting interviewed, and they pan to his face, and it looked as though when you're in the dermatologist's office and they put a special light on your face to see where all the sun damage is.
Yeah.
The HDTV did that effect to his face.
When we were looking at him in the room,
in person, he looked fine.
He looked unbelievable. I mean, he looked great. His skin looked great. He looked like really good. And then the second he left the room and he went out into the studio, and we saw him on the camera.
It was like a face full of liver spots.
It was like, what the hell is that?
Yes, it was really, really,
so
really bad.
Just so you know, folks, HD camera is a bitch, man.
Yeah, I mean, it made him look worse than he did in person.
That's why,
but he looked good in person.
Even like when we're filming Catch a Contractor, we're not even, we're not in the studio. We're not under all those bright lights and everything. We're on set. We're on location. We're in someone's house, in a front yard, backyard, whatever. But we get caked with like a lot of makeup, and there's like special makeup they use that for HD camera, because it's so like you can actually see like inside the pores.
Yes.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So,
but it was just a shame, because I know that if he knew that he was going to look like that on TV, I don't think that he would have allowed either a close up or to use that kind of a lens on him. I mean, he looked like he was about to die. It was bad.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah, I definitely felt bad for him.
In person, he looks really good.
It was shocking.
He looks really healthy. And then I was like, whoa. Who the fuck? Who is that?
So bad. Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, so the moral of the story is don't go in front of HD camera.
You know what? He didn't have any makeup on. I think that it probably would have helped a lot if he did.
Yeah, he probably didn't at all, because
he didn't need it because he's so tan.
Yeah,
I don't. But looking at him, I don't think he had makeup on.
The camera is rough, man. Those
awful.
cameras are really, really bad.
Yeah. So your segment. Let's talk about
segment
that.
was great. It was cool. I did a bunch of cool stuff, like Home Depot products that I recommend to people for kitchen and bath, like spring makeover, stuff that you can do, any DIYer can do, like over a weekend. Not a lot of time, not a lot of money, and things that can make a big change.
So remember, I think it was the last episode, we were talking about all of the stress that Skip was going through because this set was being built by other people, and whereas he usually does it, and it was like a last-minute thing, like where they were trying to get everything together.
Right.
Well,
the night before, they were still building it.
So
I'm going to show up the next morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to hope that this set that I'm now going to do a live thing in front of 7 million people is going to look good.
Right.
These guys never built a set for me before, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But it turned out that it was great.
They did a great job.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. They were great guys, on time, and they were actually there before me. They had the whole thing almost put together by the time I got there.
Yeah. And so that's on our website, on that same page I was telling you about with the segment from. I put a link to that actual appearance. It's on our website on the post on the homepage about the Fox and Friends. So on there is also all of the links to the products that Skip talked about.
Right.
And there's this one product, though, that I could see from our website stats. It got a shit ton of hits because there's this one product.
Yeah, the LED light strips. So Commercial Electric makes these light strips. It's basically like almost like a double-sided tape. It's super thin. They're LED lights, and they come on an 8-foot strip. You plug them in. They have a remote control. You can stick these things. You peel the back off. It has
so thin.
3M. It's a piece of tape. You peel the back of the 3M tape off. It's super sticky. You can stick it underneath. I mean, really anywhere. You can put it on top of your cabinets, under the upper cabinets of your backsplash. I like to put them underneath the countertop where it overhangs. The countertop overhangs the base cabinets just by like an inch. So it actually lights up the lower cabinets. On the floor, you can put them anywhere, really, around, under your furniture, around your bed, whatever you want to light up. But the coolest thing is you just hit a button with a remote control, and these things light up. You can change the colors. There's so many options you could do, and they're really affordable.
Yeah, and so people just really loved it. What you forgot to mention is that you said that they changed colors, and you didn't demonstrate it with different colors on the show, unfortunately.
Yeah, they
can morph into different colors.
There's like 12 different colors, from like the red, the blue, green, yellow, purple, and everything in between. And then you can do individual and leave it, just leave it running that color all the time.
And then use a remote.
To change it with a press of a button. And once you set it like that, every time you turn it on, it comes back on that color. But yeah, you can morph them. So there's also, I think, 3 settings that you can press a button and it'll go from red to green to blue real slowly,
Yeah. And you can also change the brightness.
Yeah, you can dim them. They're
the remote
great.
is amazing. So when he put it on, when he clicked the remote and the lights went on the set, I was like, holy shit, that looks great. So Steve Ducey, who is the host of the show that was on this segment with Skip, he was like, wow, these are great. I want to get these. He was like holding them to the camera, like telling his wife, like, this is what I want. How much are these? And Skip's like, $20. And the guy's like, wow, that's great. Skip's like, yeah, just $20. Well, Skip had no fucking clue how much they cost.
No, you know what it was? I'll tell you, we weren't talking about, a lot of times when I do these segments, we talk about prices, so it's very particular, like this is the item, this is how much it costs. But because we had so much information to cover, so many things I was going to display, we didn't really have time to get into pricing on everything because that can really eat up a lot of time. So the whole point of the segment was I'm going to talk about the products, and then there was a website you can go to, my website, skipbedell.com, or the Home Depot, and we were given the link on our website that people can see, directly to take you right to it and buy it. So I didn't want to have to waste time on the prices. So I didn't really memorize all the prices because it wasn't going to be in the segment.
So meanwhile, the product is $45.
Yeah, well, it was close. I mean, it's 45, 20, it's close.
It's, you know what? It's still very reasonable.
They're super reasonable, yeah.
And you know what? That company that makes those lights, Commercial Electric, is part of the company Facade. Facade is the company that makes those ceiling tiles.
Commercial Electric is combined with Facade?
They're part of Facade.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, and Facade is the company that makes those ceiling tiles that look like they're metallic.
Yeah.
They're the ones that we're going to be getting and putting on our ceiling. And they are going to look amazing.
I can't wait to install
them. Yeah,
those.
so I didn't know that they were the same company. So the woman who I've been dealing with at Facade sent me an email and said that she saw the segment that you did, and those lights are our company too. I was like, holy crap! I wish I would have known. We would have totally given you props.
Yeah.
For the Facade tiles also, because those are amazing as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because even you know what, and because there's no ceiling, on the sky there at the set. You couldn't really
put
demonstrate.
A ceiling on 6th Avenue?
No, you couldn't really demonstrate those kind of tiles, but something like that, in addition to the things that you were talking about, would really make a nice makeover as well in a kitchen, and so easy.
Yeah, well, that company Facade also makes backsplash tiles. They make that product can be put on the walls. It can be put on your backsplash. It can be put on the ceiling. There's a lot of different applications for it. They make them that go into a grid ceiling, like an acoustical tile ceiling.
Right.
They make them glue on. There's a lot of different things they make, and they look just awesome. There's so many different options and textures and colors. And go online and check out the Facade tiles.
Fasade.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be putting them in our kitchen, so you're going to see that transformation as well.
That's about to happen. I think they're coming tomorrow.
They should be arriving tomorrow.
We're going to start working on the ceiling portion of the kitchen reno. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Look who came to visit.
I know, I got it.
Oh, no,
God.
Don't do that.
Big fat cat.
Don't do that.
Big fat cat.
Yeah, you got to go.
Woo.
You got to go, son.
A whole pitcher of water on me.
Oh, God.
So
that was a great day.
Yeah, we got pictures with them. We got pictures with Vince Gill. And they're on our website. And so are the links to all the cool things that Skip was talking about. You know what? If not just for that light strip, you should check out our website and go to that page because they are very, very cool. I mean, like, watch the segment. The video is embedded on that web page that I made for that clip. And you'll see the demonstration of them lighting up the counter.
The possibilities for these things are endless.
Yeah,
I mean they're low voltage.
So
they don't require any electrician. Anybody can install them. You just peel and stick. And now you've got light wherever you want it, like backlight and accent lighting. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. I was very impressed, and so was everybody else who saw that segment because everybody wanted to know where to get them.
Well, they were impressed with me, not the lights.
Oh, it was you. It was definitely you. You're the best.
Oh,
so we
thanks,
also
wifey.
you're welcome, baby. We also had our roof done this past weekend, and that was a big fucking to-do that took like 14 hours.
That was a full day of roofing. Yeah, I had my whole crew here and my buddy Vinny with his old company Coverall. We came and basically ripped off the whole top of the house. We redid everything. And what was cool about that was that I've been talking with Owens Corning for the last few weeks and telling them what we're doing. We're filming this project here at our house, and we're going to make pieces, for the internet and for YouTube and all that. And we've been getting a lot of great sponsors that are helping us out with materials. And I said, listen, Owens Corning is really my favorite roofing product. We use it on all of my jobs, on all of my customers' houses, and I'd really like to install it on our house, and we're going to be filming the whole day. I mean, we had like the whole film crew going on. We had drones flying overhead. I had time-lapse GoPros going up on the roof that showed the whole roof project from start to finish. And then, of course, we did like all these little info pods down on the ground where I talked about each one of the products that we were using. So I said to Owens Corning, we'll make you this video. I'll give you the footage, and you guys can use it on your site or whatever. And how about supplying us with the roofing materials? And it went up the ladder, and they came back and they said, absolutely, we're sending you over everything. So they sent us over a giant tractor trailer full of the entire roofing system, which was really great. So we want to thank those guys. And we filmed the whole thing, so you guys are going to be seeing all the footage.
Yeah, and me being the director and videographer,
yeah.
I learned a lot about these products because you were discussing them. And I got to tell you, I don't know dick about putting up a roof or anything like that. But from what I learned about the difference between their roofing products and others,
yeah.
I would say that I can't believe that if people knew the differences, nobody would use any other product.
Yeah, well, it's not just like a shingle or just like tar paper. Like, these products are so technical, and there's so much that goes into the science behind them making them and what makes them different from other manufacturers and why they're superior, and why you want to put it on your house because it comes with a lifetime warranty. And there's so many different things that I talked about in all those little breakout info pods, So... there's probably 5 or 6 different pieces of material components that went into this roofing system.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 pieces, but that was after about 150 takes.
Well, yeah, because each one of these things, say I'm talking about like shingles, and then there's the underlayment, then there's the ice and water membrane, and there's the ridge vent.
I had to give him direction.
Yeah,
so
each one of these things, we have to we got to go through it kind of as if nobody knows what I'm talking about, so I can tell them all the different technical parts to it and why we're
going to have an awesome blooper reel.
Yeah.
There's going to be a blooper reel.
All right, take, do over, next, do it again.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If you weren't so
Action.
awful, they would have come out much better, much sooner.
What? If I wasn't so awful? Why don't you try to do it there, movie star?
I did. I got in front of the camera and I told you how to do it.
Okay. Well, guess what? We won't be seeing you on the YouTube because you didn't do any of the videos. All you do is sit back there and bitch about, you're talking too fast, or you said it too, it's not loud enough. Do it louder.
You know you were doing it too loud. You were yelling.
Oh, my God.
Who were you yelling at?
We're used to dealing with directors or producers.
You keep saying we. What do you got, a mouse in your pocket?
All the time when we're filming the show, and it's like, you take it to a whole other level, man, because I thought they're a pain in the ass. I'm really shut the hell up and let me do this thing already.
I was with Skip when he was recording these Benjamin Moore paints what are they called?
That was like years ago,
the
right?
educational, or the series of, to teach their employees about how to sell the paints.
It's a
what are they called again?
e-learning module
right,
we do like on the computer. So if you go and you're now an employee of Benjamin Moore, the first week there you're in training, they're sitting down in front of a computer and you learn about all the products. And so I was the guy narrating it and showing you all the different products.
So he was in a studio with a green screen. So he's in the studio, like this room that's just painted green. And in front of him is the director who's filming and telling him how to say things and what words to emphasize and blah, blah, blah. And I'm on a couch behind the director directing.
You're in the couch behind the director being a pain in the ass.
I'm behind
waving your hands like, slow down,
slow down,
speed up.
Slow down.
We get all these fucking hand signals, and there's a teleprompter that has pages and pages and pages of script. I'm talking about there's 20 pages of. I might as well have been a fucking movie, okay, like a full feature movie. Like I should have just been Robert De Niro on this thing because. There was thousands of words, and it had to be. It was word for word. It was There was no ad libbing.
Skip likes to add words that aren't even in the script.
Well, because
that word's not there.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
All right, so I studied the script for these things for days. So then when we get there in the studio, because it's listen, most people have no idea even what a teleprompter is or how it works, but it's not easy to read copy and make it sound like you're not reading it. So when you're looking into a teleprompter, what it is, it's a big TV camera that's filming you, but the whole face of the lens is basically like a screen. So you're looking at a monitor. You're looking at a screen, but behind that monitor, kind of like a two-way mirror, behind the monitor is actually the camera. So this way you're not looking off to the side. Your eye line is right down the pipe, right through the middle of the words. But it's hard to do, and unless you've done it a lot, and I've done it a lot over quite a few years, and it just takes a lot of practice like anything else, but to make it seem natural, so not like you're reading. So I try to get familiar with scripts before I go into studios and do green screens, teleprompter stuff. But you were like in the background, so yeah,
You talk too fast.
You're in my eye line, like I'm looking at the teleprompter, and you're like I can see your head off in the distance underneath the teleprompter because you're pretty far back on the couch, and you're making all these like
gestures, like easy,
face
slow
motions
down,
and like
slow
waving your
down.
hands, and I'm trying to. Now the teleprompter moves.
I know he can see me with his peripheral
vision. As you read,
vision.
the text goes up, kind of like imagine like the Star Wars like intro, like with all the letterings like going up the screen. That's what happens on a teleprompter. So and they can adjust the speed depending upon how you read it. So I'm trying to keep up with the pace of. I can only think of like you ever see the I Love Lucy episode when her and
with the
Ethel
candy.
are on the candy and the thing gets going faster and faster and faster. They start eating it. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep up with the pace of the teleprompter, but not sound like I'm reading it. It's a very difficult thing to do, and you're in the background waving your hands and making all these faces, and you're fucking distracting me. Meanwhile, I mean, you're trying to help me. I
was
get
helping.
it. I get it, but it was,
Because I knew you were going too fast.
You were making it even harder, though.
Well.
Because I can't watch two things
Because
at
I know
once.
what's best.
It's hard enough to watch one thing.
You wouldn't know how to do it if it wasn't
look
for
like
me.
you're not watching it. Now try to watch two things to make it look like you're not watching.
You need me to tell you how to do things.
Right, yeah, I need you to tell me how to do it. All right, well. Anyway, God knows you got a freaking lifetime full of that on Saturday filming this roof for OC because, oh my God, you were the...
Yeah.
It was 20 takes on every single thing
that
we
why?
filmed.
Because you weren't looking at the camera, you kept looking at the product.
Well, anyway, eventually we got each one right after a lot of filming. A lot. I mean, we filmed the entire. We started like 7 in the morning. I think we wrapped up at like 8:30 at night. It was the longest day ever. And but we got some great stuff, so it's going to be a cool video for you guys to see once we get done editing out all of my crappy takes.
Yeah. Yes, there'll be a lot of editing.
It'll take about 2 weeks to edit this thing, but then you guys will see how we do a roof and all these cool Owens Corning products that we use. So
yes.
Anyway,
so there's a couple of other things going on in the news.
Yeah. Do tell. Give me some news.
Okay. Did you ever hear of something called a gap year?
Only just this morning, very early. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard the word gap referred to as a lot of other things, but not that.
Yeah. So now it's a thing because now that it has a name, it's a thing.
I'm just hoping that my son didn't see that because he is graduating high school this year and he's going to be off to college and he just might decide that he needs a gap year too.
Yeah, because it's a thing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would just be you lazy ass, get your ass to school or get a job.
Yeah, I had no idea this thing even existed.
Yeah, so what it is when you are graduating high school, normally immediately thereafter you'd be registered for college and start in the fall. But Malia Obama is graduating high school this year, and she's taking a gap year off before she goes to Harvard.
Right.
So what that means is she's not going to school for a year. Right. She's going to take a year off.
Well, I think the reason behind that is that they're going to be leaving the White House. It's going to be a whole adjustment period. Probably they're moving to a different location. So, maybe that's like let her get adjusted, whatever.
That's all well and good. Whatever her fucking reason is, I don't give a shit.
Whatever
My point is that just because she's doing this now, there's a name for it, and now it's going to be a thing where all these dummy kids are going to be taking time off of school, and all that's going to do is get them used to not going to school. Right. And then, but then again, on the other hand,
hey man, you know what? I'm all for it because it's one more year I got to save money for the fucking tuition.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan anymore of like how I feel about college. I'm not a fan because you get these useless degrees that you can't do anything with. I'm a huge fan of trade schools where you learn something that you can actually apply in the workplace.
Figure out what it is that you want to do and go and learn how to do that. Yeah, not an extension of high school and more social studies and more crap.
Classes you're never going to do.
Yeah, you're not going to apply into your life, and you're going to spend $200,000 on an education that you're going to wind up having student loans.
Your parents are going to
pay off for the rest of your life, or your parents are going to pay for it. and you're going to come out of there and not have a job, and that's what's happening. It's crazy.
I didn't do anything.
Tuitions are insanely
I have a college
expensive.
degree. It didn't do anything for me until it was a prerequisite for me to take a civil service exam for the first job I had with the county.
But then you were glad you had it because you wouldn't have been able to take
well,
that
of course,
test,
but
right?
but there was at least what was it over 10 years?
Right.
Over 10 years. I did
That you were just like waitressing at the strip club?
No, but I was in I was in the medical, I was in medical billing, medical office management. I was good at what I did, but it didn't require any kind of a degree or any kind of special education.
Well, so yeah, it's interesting. We'll see if this gap year thing now is going to become a thing. Maybe it's going to be like the new trend. You never know.
It will.
That's how shit starts. Just like one person will do it. It gets on. Yeah, one celebrity
Obama
does it.
Took a gap year off.
Who brought back high-waisted jeans? Somebody did it. Thanks a lot for nothing.
High-waisted jeans.
Yeah, right. Some dumbass celebrity chick put them on like a year or two ago.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, she went through her fucking 80s collection, her trunk of clothes that she hasn't worn in. Well,
Miley
Miley
Cyrus.
Not even from the 80s, right?
Oh, disgusting.
She went through her mom's.
Yeah, exactly. She went to a fucking,
Hey, look, what are these? Let me put these on. Next thing you know, like
Disgusting.
every young girl is wearing them now.
So disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh God! But you know,
There you
I
go.
feel about that, too.
Trendsetters.
Yeah. So
Gap year.
I'm really like annoyed that there's an expression for this now, because now you're going to get all these idiots like staying home, mooching off their parents, not getting a good job because they're waiting to go to college while they take their gap year off.
Take my gap year.
Yeah. So they're not going to really pursue anything of any kind of importance. They're just going to get a job waitressing or doing something.
Yeah.
Just to make a little bit of spending money.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with waitressing, but my point is that if your intention is to go to school, you better start going right away while you're still in the habit of going to school.
Right.
Because it's really
once you get out of that, it's hard to go back.
Oh God, yeah. So that's not. I don't think that's a smart thing to do at all.
So what else we got in the news?
So somebody took my idea again. Once again, I had an idea, and somebody went and sued Starbucks for their iced coffee. Because
that was your idea? I thought you were going to tell me about that thing you wanted to patent, which we can't talk about.
No, we can't talk about that.
Yeah. Wait a second. You've been thinking
I've
about...
thought about that. Well,
About suing Starbucks?
No, not
just,
about suing
like
them, but I
complaining?
thought about the wrongness of the iced coffee. You ask for a particular size, and then it costs like $4 something, and then you get a cup filled with ice, and then you have a straw in your coffee beverage, and after about 3 good sips, there's none left.
See, now,
but you still got a cup of ice.
I don't get that, though. If you're ordering iced coffee, like there's going to be ice in there, right?
Okay,
But that's part of what you're paying for.
Right, but listen to this.
What's everybody complaining about?
Listen to this. So if you're ordering a 16-ounce iced coffee, I want 16 ounces of coffee plus ice.
Oh, hold on now. It's a 16-ounce cup.
Right, that's what's fucked
Now,
up.
if you're putting ice in it, that's going to displace the coffee. Is that you're not going to have 16
Correct.
ounces of coffee?
Correct.
But you're getting an iced coffee. That's
no.
That's
want 16 ounces of coffee.
Well, then it's not going to be
cold.
in a 16-ounce cup.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. So it should be based upon the quantity of coffee that's in the cup.
Well,
the ice should be not counted
I looked
in this.
into this a little bit today because we when we get up like at the crack of dawn, we listen to whatever news channel is on or whatever. You hear all this stuff.
What do you mean you looked into this? What did you look into?
Because there's stuff that came up like on social media today, and when I had a chance to look at my phone, I'm like, oh, well, what's going on with it? I heard about the suit this morning that when we were listening to the news, and I'm like, what actually is happening with this? They're being sued for like $5 million. A bunch of people got together with some
Class
lawyer.
Action?
I don't know if it's a class action. So I guess it is. There's a bunch of people that are doing it. Yeah, collectively, people are suing.
It's the scam of the century,
Starbucks.
serving iced coffee, because you're only giving a tiny bit of beverage for the full price of a larger beverage.
Yeah, but I get it. I understand what people are saying, but also, it's like you're the consumer. You understand that you're buying a coffee with ice in it.
But it's always a disappointment.
That's what you want, right? So to me, it just seems like a bullshit lawsuit. The only person that's really making out here is the lawyers. They're going to get their money. And really, if you think about it, I mean, because think about how ridiculous it is. They were talking about it today, saying that. So what people are saying is that, I mean, how are they going to monitor that? So should you pay less for that $5 cup of iced coffee based upon how much ice is put in it because it now displaces 10% of the coffee? So, in other words, are you going to pay per cube?
10%. It's like 95% of the cup is taken up
Whatever
by
the
ice.
percentage is. I mean, think about it, though. Like, how do you...
I want a bigger cup.
How does the person making the coffee now... I mean, how are they going to... How are they doing that?
You get a bigger fucking cup, okay, so that more liquid fits in it. That's all there is to it. Make sure that what you do is you get a big cup and you fill it with ice or whatever. You know, you have to figure out what size the cup is going to be. And then you take like a shaker cup, which is like 16 ounces, and you fill it with the cold beverage and you pour it over the ice. And therefore, you know you have 16 ounces of a cold coffee beverage.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they need to shake it first. They need to make it cold with an ice shaker and then just put
I'm not saying shake it.
Well, think about that,
that'll
though.
dilute it.
If they were to shake it real quickly in a shaker full of ice, and then they could put less ice in your cup because it's already chilled.
No, because that's a waste because the beverage will stick to the outside of the ice cubes and you won't get the full beverage that you had put into the cup of ice.
Well, hold on. Stick to the outside of the ice cube?
Yes, when you put a beverage inside, if you were to put like a coffee beverage, and if the coffee beverage is even like, it will stick to the outside of the cubes.
So, how much?
It's not a good idea. Whatever you just said, it sucks. Just forget it.
How much coffee are you actually losing by sticking to the cube? Come on, man.
Listen, there's no need to put it in a shaker if you're going to put it over ice to begin with.
All right, so your solution
I'm
is
saying is you get a cup with a predetermined amount measured.
So if you're buying a medium-sized iced coffee, it should come in a large-sized cup. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that they need to recalculate all of their cups so that when they make this beverage, say that you order a 16-ounce iced coffee.
Right.
They're going to pour 16 ounces of cold coffee into a pre-measured cup. 16 ounces.
That will account for the additional size
and then
needed for the ice.
they need to create a cup that will hold ice and that 16 ounces of coffee. And whatever the fuck size that cup needs to be, make that size cup for your iced beverages.
All right. I think what's going to wind up happening, this thing is going to be like a nuisance lawsuit. Starbucks is probably
I don't think so at all because I have
they're probably just going to wind up settling this thing, really, if you think about it.
Anybody with a dollar in their fucking pocket who has bought iced beverages at Starbucks is not pleased about 3 sips from their cold beverage. Nobody likes it, but they put up with it because that's how it is, or people don't want to complain, or they're lazy asses, or, they can't be the one person that's going to change everything. I personally, when I go to Starbucks, let me finish my
I get what you're saying.
My point. When I go to Starbucks, I ask for them for less ice. I say with just a little bit of ice. I always say that. And I also throw in I've got a sensitive tooth. But I always ask for just a little bit of ice there and at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah.
Just a little bit of ice.
So I got a sensitive tooth.
You got to say yeah.
But I'm really just cheap, and I don't want to pay $5 for like 3 sips.
All right, but the thing is that, when you get an iced coffee, you are asking for the cup. You want ice in it to cool the coffee because they pour it in hot.
They don't.
They don't.
No.
They don't make iced coffee with coffee?
No. They refrigerate the coffee because that would melt the cubes and it would make it like water. It would be so diluted.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. What am I saying? Yeah, it's a cold. It's already pre-made cold. Right. Okay. But even still, you're displacing a lot of the coffee with the ice cubes. So
right. They're not putting ice cubes in a cup of coffee. They're putting coffee in a cup full of ice.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. My whole point is I think it's just another bullshit lawsuit. Not that it couldn't be corrected with a larger cup.
Are you saying that just to oppose me, or you seriously think that ridiculousness?
I'm thinking that the fact that people are suing for $5 million, how about do you really need...
I think that they're scamming the public. Think about the quantity of coffee that they're selling for that much fucking money. It's like a shot glass.
Oh, my God.
That's a fucking ripoff.
So the court needs to be tied up with a suit for millions of dollars.
You know what? Starbucks is taking advantage of the public. There is fucking thousands and thousands of Starbucks, and people like their product. It tastes good. It's a good quality, and they're taking advantage of people by giving them a shot glass of fucking coffee with their ice.
I don't know, man. It's got to be a better...
It's a ripoff.
It's got to be, I think, the only people that are making out on this.
Same shit with McDonald's,
This is some lawyer that got a bunch of people together and said, hey, man, let's go sue Starbucks.
Let me fucking tell you. Same shit with McDonald's. McDonald's, listen to this bullshit. $1 for any size hot cup of coffee at McDonald's. Right. But when you ask for iced coffee, which is actually less coffee, because you got full ice cubes, it's like $3 and up.
Why is that?
Ask McFucking Ronald McDonald, motherfuckers.
McFucking Ronald. Can I get a McFucking Ronald?
Seriously, that makes no fucking sense. They'll give you a full, large-size coffee for $1, but they charge you extra for iced coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
all right,
bullshit.
well, there you have it. Okay.
Yeah.
$5 million lawsuit going on against Starbucks.
And I'm all for it. Thank
ice.
you. Thank you, brave people who took the time to do it.
So what are they going to do? They're going to, like, refund everybody? Or like?
I think they need to change their what is it called? Modus
policy?
operandi.
Aha.
Yeah, they need to change the way that they do things and get bigger cups.
Now, I like 7-Eleven coffee. 7-Eleven has like an iced coffee cup. It's specifically, it's a large clear plastic cup that's for iced coffee.
Yes.
So why don't they just do that? Why don't they just make one
My
size?
fucking point exactly what I said before,
All right,
genius.
but one size. Like you're not going to, because you can order a small, a medium, or large iced coffee from Starbucks.
So there needs to be multiple sizes of bigger size cups.
No, it should just be one size. You want an iced coffee, this is what you get.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done with you. Game of Thrones.
You're not winning this one.
What?
All right, whatever.
Oh God! You know what? I could have been an attorney, and I would have won.
You could have, but you're not, and I just think it's another bullshit lawsuit. They're like some lawsuits are just ridiculous. I think it's just some lawyer got a bunch of people together and it's like, let's sue Starbucks.
All right, whatever.
Not that it doesn't make sense. Not that they can't rectify it with some larger cup, but do you really have to bring a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against? I mean,
okay.
To me, it sounds like it's tying up the
Spoiler
courts.
is about to ensue for Game of Thrones. So if you did not watch it Sunday night, which was like just this Sunday, the most recent episode 2 of the season 6, you need to fast forward a little bit because it'll be a spoiler. Here it goes. Spoiler alert. Jon Snow is alive, and I am so happy.
That's very cool.
Yeah, because
Now,
I
they've been
had
talking
a
about
feeling.
all the way through this in between the season, all like the reviews and stuff. You've been reading. That
He's been saying that
speculation that
he's
he's
been
not
confirming
coming back.
that Jon Snow is dead. The guy Kit Harington who plays Jon Snow has been saying he's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
not coming back.
Yeah, everybody, HBO, he's not coming back, he's dead, because there was speculation from the minute that episode played. So I had a feeling, though, that something would happen, and the Red Woman did some magic on him and brought him back to life. And, this show is made up of all, magic and mystery and all this kind of bullshit and dragons and all kinds of stuff. So, of course, he can be brought back from the dead, because there's all, there's all kinds of magical stuff going on in the show. So, of course. So, what's really cool for us is that we binge-watched the show a mere few months ago. But what you didn't realize, and I didn't until I just read it in an article, was that that finale from the previous season where he got stabbed was a year ago.
Oh, wow.
People have been waiting like a year for this to start to find out what his fate was.
Oh, God.
So for us, we only waited like a month or so.
Yeah, because we watched the whole, all 5 seasons, over a weekend, and like a rainy weekend. We just
with our new Apple TV.
Yeah, Apple TV, a lot of sex, and a lot of Game of Thrones.
A lot of sex on the Game of Thrones. Yeah. So
a lot of TV in bed. That was an awesome weekend.
Yeah, it really was.
Let's do that again. In fact, let's do that right now.
Okay. As soon as we're
We
done.
got to go, peeps. Bye.
Thanks for
It's been
listening.
fun.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked. I had a feeling that was going to happen because he was just, even though they kill everybody on that show, he was a very beloved character.
Yeah.
He was very good-natured, and he was just very likable, and I just couldn't imagine that they'd get rid of him, too, because they're getting rid of all the Stark kids,
Yeah.
So
well, that's what's cool about that show. Like, they're not afraid to get rid of anybody. Like, it's like, Even like Walking Dead, they're killing off some prime character.
You know what?
That
like
you think
I said,
are going to be on there forever,
I think it's
and then
going
all
to
of
be
a sudden
Eugene.
they're gone.
It's going to be Eugene. I'm telling you, when that show comes back, it has to be Eugene. If not for the fact that I just can't stand that character, he gave the recipe to make bullets to Rick.
Right.
So
Eugene finally manned up, though. He did come
right.
around.
So and then he said his goodbyes to Rick. He said his goodbyes to that big redhead
guy.
guy.
That was a little bit of a tell, right?
Yeah, it seemed kind of obvious. I don't know. So, all right. So that's what I have to say about that.
All right. What else you get to say?
What else do I have to say about
Because you are flapping your lip quite a lot. What else you got?
Jared Fogle. He is writing letters to an ex-girlfriend. Some ex-girlfriend wrote to him in prison because she felt bad for him. Right. But she showed his most recent letter to the media because he's asking her for pictures of herself now and saying he really missed her and he was thinking about her. Basically he's coming on to her.
She's 12.
No, 14.
Oh, God.
No, but basically this fucking horn dog is trying to get pictures sent to him in prison. This fucking loser.
Man.
Yeah, I just
You know, that
disgusting.
guy had the world by the nuts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, getting paid to eat Subway. He was like...
He's famous for fucking nothing because he
wealthy,
lost, but I lost weight. I'm not even that
wealthy,
famous.
He had it made. All he had to do was just do
Yep.
the right thing.
Yep.
To just,
Yep.
like, stay
He
quiet,
had to
fly
fuck
under the
little girls.
radar. You
Yep.
know, like, if you want to be an idiot, just fly under the radar, but no.
Ew, you had to go fuck little girls, you asshole.
God.
Yep, he's getting.
Was
what
it
he
all little
deserves.
girls? Any like boys
They
in
were
there
all
too?
all underage girls for him.
God.
Yeah, somebody needs to take care of his business.
Oh, I'm sure he's yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Jared was a welcome addition to Cell Block H.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
He's going to get his own 6-inch
Yeah.
or 12-inch.
Oh,
Subway.
$5 foot long.
He's getting lots of footlongs right now.
So we've been talking a really long time, and we've just about forgotten that today is Tip Tuesday.
It's Tip Tuesday.
Tip Tuesday!
And with that, you're going to give some tips, and so am I.
I am.
So let's hit it.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedell.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
It's springtime, and it's time to get out there and like do stuff on the outside of your house. We're getting back and entertaining outside, and what better time to clean up the house and clean up the patio and do the whole house wash and the fence and all that stuff. So time to break out the power washer. If you don't have one, go out and get one, or at least go rent one, because they work great to really kind of wash the whole house and everything that you got going on. There's so many different attachments and things you can use a power washer
Well,
for.
hold on a second. You are talking like an auctioneer. You're so fast.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Would you like me to start over?
No, I was just realizing that it was like a race.
Yeah, because I'm very excited. This is exciting stuff,
I know,
man.
I'm
We're
sorry.
talking about power washers.
I know.
Quit pissing on my parade, man.
I know. I'm
all right?
sorry, but you
just
were.
sit over there and shut up.
I'm sorry. You do your thing, chicken wing.
Man, do you want to give a tip? You can talk about the power washers if
Do
you
your
want.
thing.
All right. So a lot of people ask me questions about power washers over the course of the year, like how to put them away in the wintertime, how to, care for them, and all the different things that you can do with them and how to use them properly. Because, by the way, power washers can definitely do some damage if you don't know what you're doing with them. So some of the common questions and problems that I've been getting sent over is, here's one. Hard to start. Sometimes power washers can be very hard to start, and one of the things that I suggest to people all the time is that a lot of people are saying, well, don't run the water through it right before you're going to start it. Just start the motor, then send the water through it. Definitely do not do that. Do not ever start your power washer dry. Always make sure you have water, the hose is turned on, the water supply is hooked up to it, because the pump can be damaged very easily. As soon as you start that and it's running dry, you'll definitely wreck the pump. But what you can do is that you can pull the trigger. You can hold the trigger down on the gun wand and release the pressure out of the power washer, or you can have someone else do it while you are using your other hand to pull the pull cord and start up the power washer. Just by doing that, it's going to make it easy. You'll start that thing up in 1 or 2 pulls, no problem. Another thing that happens with power washers is that the pumps start to get dry. The inner mechanisms of them, they can get damaged and dry, and if they start to seize up and they're not flowing properly or moving all the parts inside, it can make it hard to start that pump, the power washer as well. So what I always recommend to people to use is a pump saver lube. That sounds like a little... I'm not talking about that kind of lube. It's not exciting. It's a pump saver lube. Briggs & Stratton makes a 6150. That's what they call it, Briggs & Stratton 6150 lube. It's pump saver lubrication. And basically what you do, it has a garden hose threaded end on it that you thread onto the water supply where your garden hose goes onto your power washer. And you squeeze the trigger on this for a couple of seconds, and it sends a solution through the pump. Now, this does a couple of different things. It'll also flush out all the water that's in the pump, which is important to do every time that you use the power washer and you're going to put it away. Most people don't do that. They run it. They just put it back in the garage or the shed, whatever. They forget about it, and there's always water left inside that pump. Now, that's a big problem because all the different minerals and calcium and different things that are in your water can start to solidify inside the pump, and it'll bind that thing up, and it'll really reduce the life of it, which is going to put your power washer out of service real quickly. So by spraying this stuff through the pump, it only takes a couple seconds. It forces all the water out, and it's also a lubricant. So it's going to keep that motor and that pump working really well all the time. Another common problem with them is leaky hoses. So if you have the type of power washer that has a threaded on connector, like a garden hose connector where you thread on the hose to the wand and to your machine, then there's going to be O-rings in those connections. Just like there's washers inside the end of your garden hose, that type of hose has an O-ring. And those O-rings get dry, they get cracked, and they stop working properly. They let water sneak by, and it's going to leak. Now remember, the power washer is under very high pressure. So if those O-rings aren't in good shape, the hose and the connections are always going to leak. You can go out and get a replacement set of O-rings.
Listen.
Curly?
Hang on. Hang on. Thought he was going to get super.
All right, so go out and get yourself a set of replacement O-rings. It's going to make a big difference, and it will definitely stop the leaks on your hoses. The other thing that you can do is use a silicone plumber's grease instead of an oil or WD-40. A lot of people will spray those connections with WD-40 or put like an oil inside there. The only problem with that is that as you run the water through it, it will wash that oil off of there. So go out and get some silicone plumber's grease. You can get it right in your hardware store or Home Depot or wherever. It's basically a material that you can squeeze out of a tube, and it's a silicone-based grease that will stick to that fitting, and it's not going to wash off with the water. It's going to keep the O-rings lubricated, keep them from cracking, keep them in good shape. Something you can do to make sure that you're not going to have that problem at all is that you can switch over those connections to quick connect fittings. For about $20, you can go into the store and pick up a set of quick connect fittings that will replace the threaded on ends. So you put the quick connect on your hose, also on the wand on your machine, and now you just clip the hose together. You just click it like a pneumatic fitting, no more threading on. It's easy to get the hose on and off, and it's also going to eliminate the O-rings altogether. So when you're using your machine, a lot of people run fluids through those machines, like different types of cleaners, house washes, and things like that. It's important that you only use pressure washer approved fluids, because if you're running bleach or degreasers or heavy-duty cleaning liquids through the machine, it will definitely destroy the pump. And that's a common cause of people having problems with their pumps. They don't know why. They only got like a year or two out of the machine, and it's not working anymore because they were using like a bottle of bleach and water solution, whatever, to wash the mold and mildew off the house. It will wreck the pump. Only use fluids that are approved for that. And one of the brands that I like the most is Crud Cutter. Now, we're going to put links up on our site when you guys get done listening to this. You can go onto the links and you can find all the products I'm going to mention to you right now. And all its super low prices on Amazon, the cheapest place that you'll find them anywhere and get delivered right to your house. So check out the Crud Cutter products. They have a full line of cleaners for like the house, the driveway and patio stuff, deck cleaners, stuff for your car. Oh, and that reminds me, don't use those materials. So don't use like a house cleaner fluid on your car just because you think it's like, oh, it's going through the pressure washer. It's it'll degrease my wheels or whatever. It will not. It will take the finish off your rims. It will, you don't want to cross those fluids. So use the cleaner each one for what they're supposed to do. Definitely don't mix them. So if the cleaning solution injector is not working, that's another big question people will ask me all the time. My machine is running, but every time I try to use the injector and I try to put the soap or the cleaning fluid through it, it doesn't work. And one of the main problems that you have that will cause that is that you're not using the right nozzle. So most of these machines come with a bunch of different clip-on nozzles that go on the end of the gun. And, you guys may know what some of them are for, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you real quickly. They come with red, yellow, green, white, and a black. The cleaning solution injector will not work unless you have the black nozzle on the end of your hose, because that's the only one that has a really large opening that will allow a lot of flow to go through the hose, and that's going to create a suction and siphon that fluid out of the bottle. Without that, if you're trying to use a cleaning solution and use the yellow or the white or any one of the other nozzles, it's not going to suck that fluid out. So you got to use the black nozzle on the end of the wand to make sure that we get the clean solution out. So what you can use, there's also a 6-in-1 dial and wash pressure regulator. We're going to put a link for that on there also. It's about $35. That replaces all those different color nozzles. You clip this thing on the end of your power washer wand, and basically all you'd have to do is spin it, just like kind of like the settings on your shower head, where you can turn it and get different types of water sprays to come out of it. Just to let you know what these different, if you don't have one of those, what these different nozzles are used for. The red one is basically a 0-degree nozzle, and it's going to create like a very super fine spray, and that's good to, like, get weeds out from between cracks in the concrete and blast things, mud and stuff like that, out of very small areas. But you don't want to use that on like wood, or you don't want to use it on your siding or anything other than doing that type of thing, because it will definitely etch and it'll actually cut into concrete. So be very careful using the red and the yellow as well. Is a 15-degree nozzle. That'll give you like a slight fan pattern, but that one you want to hold at like a 45-degree angle. That's basically used for like a scraper. That's good to remove like peeling paint and other types of finishes on your deck and stuff like that. But that's also very, very aggressive tip, so be careful with that one as well. The ones that you're going to wind up using the most are probably the green and the white. Now, the green gives you a 25-degree nozzle. It's basically perfect for removing dirt and grime. That's the thing you want to use on your deck. That's going to take off that top layer of like crap on your patio pavers and your deck surface and all that without really doing much damage to it. And the white one, lastly, is a 40-degree nozzle. That's the one that gives you the widest fan pattern. And that's the one you're going to want to use on delicate surfaces and deck boards and glass and vehicle exteriors and things like that. It's good for your car. It's not going to blast the paint off your car or off the side of your house either. Now, what you can do in addition to that, if you want to regulate the pressure, I'm putting a link on here for the Simpson Dial and Wash Pressure Regulator. It's about $35. You can get it in the big box stores. We'll give you the link for Amazon. What this does, it adjusts your maximum pressure down to about 1,000 psi, and that's really good for doing work on delicate items like your patio furniture and anything that you're worried about disturbing the surface or damaging. You can use this regulator. It threads onto the end of your gun, and then your hose clips into that. And basically, you just turn the dial on it, and you can adjust the pressure up or down. That's a really nice additive to have on your gun because it's not always coming out at full pressure. Okay, so some other great accessories that you can get for your power washer, and these are things that are really going to make the job a lot easier around the house. One of the things I love the most is the gutter cleaning attachment. You can get one for about $25, $30. This clips on to the end of a telescoping wand. Now, General Pump makes a telescoping wand that goes from 6 to 24 feet. It's about $120. It's a little pricey, but I got to tell you, if you clip on the gutter cleaning attachment or any of the other attachments go on to this long telescoping wand, it'll basically eliminate you having to get up on a ladder and working up, on the second story of your house. So you can clean out the gutters, you can clean off the roof, you can clean the windows, all from the ground. So it's definitely a worthwhile investment. Check that one out. General Pump makes a great one. We'll give you the link for that. And also, lastly, I think that one of the things you might be able to get the most use out of is a 50-foot extension hose. Now, most power washers come with a 25-foot hose that you hook your gun or your wand up to. And what that means is that you're going to be wheeling the machine around everywhere you work. You're going to be wheeling the machine every 25 feet around the house, around your deck. You're constantly going to be moving that machine with you. If you hook up a 50-foot extension hose to it, now you have 75 feet of hose. In most cases, you can put that thing at one end of the house and work all over and not have to keep walking back and rolling around that machine. You can get a really good quality extension hose for about between $60 and $70. It's going to make your job a lot easier. That's a great investment in the whole power washing toolkit. Depending upon whether you have the threaded on connection or the quick connect connector, they can be cheaper. They'll range down to about $35 to $40 if you have the threaded ones. But that's basically going to allow you to leave the machine in one place and make your job a lot easier. So these are just some things that I wanted to tell you guys about. Check these things out. We're going to put the links up on for you. And get out there and start cleaning, man. It's the time. Clean off the whole house. Just one more quick tip. When you're cleaning the house, if you haven't done it before, definitely check out the crud cutters and all the different cleaning solutions I was telling you about. They have ones that will break up mildew and mold and whatever it is you want to do. But when you're doing this, if you go out and get that gutter cleaning attachment, do yourself a favor and clean out your gutters first. Now, usually when you're cleaning something like a vertical surface, you always want to start at the top because everything is washing down at the bottom. So obviously, you want to start at the top and work your way down so all the dirt is being pulled toward the ground. But if you go up and clean out your gutters, it's going to blast out leaves and debris and everything else all over your roof, all over your house, and you don't want to clean the house first and then the gutters. So the first thing you want to do in your spring cleaning process is do the gutters first. They're up high. It's going to blast that stuff all over the place. And then after you get your gutters all cleaned out, now start cleaning your roof and work your way down the house and blow all that debris down onto the ground. And now also your gutters are going to be clean, allowing water to flow out through them rather than over them and over all the crap that's in them. And you can wash everything from the top right down to the bottom. So there you go. Get out there and start cleaning and make it look nice.
I'm exhausted.
It's a lot of work, but
It's
you
a lot
know
of
what?
fucking information.
These are the things that make the difference, man. If you're going to be power washing, trust me when I tell you, this is the stuff that's going to make the difference, make your job a lot easier.
Well, the products that he spoke about are going to be on the episode summary for this episode.
And how exciting was that? Wasn't it like riveting information?
No.
Come on.
Maybe for somebody doing power washing.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so another question.
You know you got a little chub
We
going
have
there from that.
I'm just chubby. That's all it is. I'm just simply chubby.
I got a little chub. I got a little semi going.
Ah.
A little chub.
You to put your chub on my chubbiness?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Got my little power wand.
Your own power
my
washer.
pressure washer chub.
Great. Anyway. Okay, so we got some questions from listeners. Joseph Leon said, what kind of plants or produce should you grow to ward off mosquitoes and or flies?
Ooh.
That's a really good question. There are a variety of things that you can do to keep the bugs and the vermin away. And there's some staples that you should definitely have in your garden. One of them is marigolds. Marigolds are awesome around your tomato plants because you get those big, nasty worms that come by the tomato plants. It's actually it's a moth. It's a caterpillar that turns into this nasty moth, and they live on tomato plants, and they are green just like the leaves, and you can't even see them. Before you know it, they've eaten all of your tomatoes and your greens as well, and they're just disgusting. But some of the things that you should have in your garden include basil, lavender, lemongrass, mint, lemon, thyme, and rosemary. Those are some staples that you should have around your garden. They keep away all kinds of bugs that you do not want in your garden. Bay leaves. Bay leaves not only are good in your sauce, but they repel flies. So when you grow that plant, you don't have to get the dried leaves from the store to add to your food. You just pick the leaves as you need them, and they'll also keep the flies away from your garden. Chives. Chives repel carrot flies and Japanese beetles and aphids. I don't know about you, but Japanese beetles and aphids are a huge pest in the garden. Aphids had attacked my beach plum tree. They are on the underside of the leaf. It looks like dots underneath leaves, and what it is are they're aphids, and they're just disgusting. They thrive on the sugar that comes out of the leaves, and they destroy your tree.
Do they eat holes in the leaves? And
no, yeah, and
when you see some leaves that just look like mesh.
Yes, and that's some of it is from aphids.
Right.
Dill is a good thing to also keep away aphids and squash bugs, spider mites, and the tomato hornworms. The tomato hornworm, remember that thing that we had that we took off?
Yeah, that thing was giant.
It was fucking huge and fat, and it also serves as what is the word when something feeds off of something else?
Parasite.
Yes. The parasite on the back of those tomato hornworms is the, I'm having a loss, what was it, the wasp.
Oh, yeah.
The eggs are on the back of the worm, and they are like a host. It's a host.
Yeah.
So that's where they put their eggs.
That was
on
crazy
the back of the worm.
when we learned that. Right, we went online. We're looking at this giant. This worm is like 4 inches long. It's about as big, as thick as your finger.
Yes.
It just looks like a giant caterpillar, and it only is attracted to tomato plants. And I've never seen anything like it before. But on the back of it, it had all these little white dots. And we're like, what the hell is that? We go online and we find out that they're eggs from some other kind of wasp that, like, hatches its eggs on the back of this worm that they burrow into the worm and it's like this whole crazy.
Disgusting.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And these things are on tomatoes.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and you can't see them. You like literally have to stare at your tomato plant to find them because they look just like the plant.
Wasps are known for doing that. By the way, they lay their eggs on a lot of different
Disgusting.
things. That when the eggs hatch, the larvae actually burrow into its host and they eat it from the inside out. And that's how they grow. Yeah.
Disgusting.
So all that's going on your beefsteak tomatoes.
Yes. So, okay. Fennel repels aphids also, and slugs. Slugs are also something you don't want in your garden. They are disgusting, and there's nothing.
You don't want them in your bed either. You ever notice like the slug tracks around
slug
the
trail? I knew you were going to go there.
On the sheets.
Animal. Lemon balm repels mosquitoes. There is a new product on the market that we have been using. It's not new, but I think the last couple of years. It's by Cutter, and it is a natural. Instead of the chemicals that you can spray to keep the mosquitoes away, it's natural and it's lemon based and it's very strong. You spray it around your garden. It's like a fogger. It's like a lemon fogger, and it not only repels mosquitoes but it kills them as well. That thing is awesome. So that works really well to keep the mosquitoes away. Oregano keeps away a lot of bugs, and it's also really good for ground cover. Parsley repels asparagus, beetles. Like there's basically, and thyme keeps away other kinds of worms. Basically, all of the herbs, you should have an herb garden, and it basically keeps away everything that you don't want.
The herbs.
Herbs. But also, this is very cool, the chrysanthemums, also known as just mums, that keeps away roaches and ants, which is very important as well because...
The cockroach, man.
Yeah, and spider mites, and because those are things like ants. My strawberry plants, like there's always like ants crawling around, and I fucking hate it. It's disgusting. So you put a couple of mums there, and it helps keep those things away. I think they kind
of add like texture, when they get in there, it kind of makes the strawberry a little crunchy.
No. But what you definitely want to make sure that you have in your garden is marigolds, mint, and the lemon things. There's a variety of herbs that smell like lemon, and you definitely want to have that in your garden.
You're talking about my tip is like a lot of information. Like, holy God, man, that's a lot of different things to have to plant.
Rewind the podcast, get a pen out and a piece of paper.
Wow.
These are things that will keep your plants good. You know what I actually started using also that I had read about, and I used it, and it works, is neem oil. Neem. Neem oil. It's natural, and I sprayed when I had those aphids the first year that we had that beach plum tree, it was like it destroyed the plant. We didn't get any plums. The next year, early in the season, I started spraying the plant with the neem oil. I bought a sprayer, I bought a concentrate and mixed it with the water. It kept all the bugs away. We got full crop of plums last year. It was amazing. And you have to, like every 2 weeks or so, you freshen up, you spray that. You can spray all of your vegetables with it. It's completely organic. It is edible. You can spray everything in your garden with neem oil, and it really is amazing to keep shit away.
Does it work on crabs?
You're funny.
I'm just asking, just putting it out there.
Okay. Have you ever had crabs?
No, thank God.
Me neither. I've heard of people having that. Oh, thank God, no.
Anybody out there ever have crabs? Yeah, write into us and tell us how that went.
Okay. Jim Tharp asked, he wants to know, since I'm a super researcher and a smart shopper, yes, I am. He wanted to know about a good walking shoe that's reasonably priced. And there is one brand of shoes that if you're looking for a comfortable shoe that looks good, has multiple styles, and feels amazing, it's Born. B-O-R-N. Born. They make men's and women's shoes. Skip has had this one pair of them for years.
About 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, he wore them so much he cracked the sole and still wore them because they're so comfortable.
Yeah, they last a really long time. They're really just good leather shoes.
Yeah, the style that he particularly likes is called Blast 2. So if you were to Google Born Blast 2, I can put a link for it on the Amazon. They sell it as well. It's a great looking casual shoe, but they're ridiculously comfortable. I have Born sandals and also Born shoes. They are just made for comfort, but they also look very nice. They're reasonably priced. They're not cheap, but if you have them for years and they look great and they stay well put together,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I have them like in a few different colors, and like you can wear them, casual, just a pair of jeans, or you can even dress them up a little bit. But they're just a great all.
And they all have dress down styles also.
Yeah, they have really much more casual styles, but they're just
such an amazing brand
comfortable shoe.
of great
I'm
brand
used to
of
wearing
shoe.
work boots all the time, so when I put these things on, my feet feel like
Yeah.
it's like
they're amazing.
yeah. All right, well
okay.
there you go.
Okay.
It's Tip Tuesday.
It's Tip Tuesday.
Lots of tips.
Okay, so Jesse Coker has been asking me the last few weeks. He wants my top 5 gardening secrets. He's in Australia, by the way.
Oh.
I think that is ridiculously cool that he's in Australia. I would try to pretend to do that accent, but I think I would end up either doing an Indian accent or
Shrimp
England.
on the barbie, mate.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because I can't do an Australian accent.
Yeah.
So I won't embarrass
Just like a
myself.
Crocodile Dundee.
Okay. Well, I've got.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh, that was really good.
Remember he pulled out that giant knife?
Yes, you're good. But you do voices really good.
I'm going to talk dirty to you like this
Oh,
later.
can you do that later and I'll close my eyes and
yeah.
then pretend like that?
I'm going to talk dirty to you, baby.
No, fantasy.
Yeah, I'm going to be your fantasy. And then I'm going to morph that into, look, boss, he plane.
And I'll dry up.
You're like, wee. All right, get off me. Get out of here, tattoo. Zipline.
Oh boy. Okay. So this is my. These are the 5 things that were the first things that came to my mind as my good garden tips.
Tip Tuesday!
Sow your carrots and beets directly into the garden, which means plant them directly into the dirt. Don't do root plants when you grow things inside under the grow lights. Put them outside. Your root plants should be outside because they don't transfer very well and they will grow into weird shapes, and plant them directly into the garden where you're going to have them growing outside. So that's my number 1 tip, because as a new gardener, I bought all the things that I wanted to plant from seeds, and I did everything indoors, and I learned the hard way that root plants and corn are not good to start indoors and then transfer to outside. So do them outside. They're good to grow in the cooler weather in the beginning of the season. My next tip is to make sure that you add something to your soil in your garden every year, whether it be compost or you buy some kind of a fertilizer for your food garden. Make sure it's organic. Add something every year to your garden soil before you start to grow your new garden for the year with all your new annual plants. That helps a lot because the previous year's stuff sucked up all the nutrients. That's why people always save compost. Like they make compost and mix it in with the garden because it adds all these different nutrients and all that kind of bullshit that your plants need to grow. The next thing that I do, actually I'd already given you this tip before, so make sure you spray your plants with the neem oil. Buy that, spray it on everything. It works. It keeps bugs away in addition to growing all those other types of herbs to keep things away. The next thing that I have is a really good tip. I grow strawberries, I grow melons, and those things grow on the ground. They touch the ground, but you don't want them on the ground because that's where they get bugs. That's where they get soggy, or they'll get a shit spot on the bottom of the berry that you don't want to eat. You want a nice, solid, fresh berry or a melon that doesn't have dirt or a soft spot. So put something underneath it. They make things to put underneath it. I bought mine from Gardener's Catalog. It's gardeners.com. It's a great gardening catalog, and they have these great plastic mesh things that you can put underneath at the base of your strawberry plants and underneath your melons. It's like it holds your melon, but it's mesh so that it can breathe. The air can circulate all around the fruits. Or you can really make your own if you want to get something that is plastic that can hold up. You line the bottom of your strawberry plants with. But put something underneath those. They make things for that. If you don't want to, if you don't mind spending the money, they sell it at gardeners.com. I bought them all. It's worth it. You can use them year after year. It's a one-time investment. It's really worth it. And, as you're growing your strawberries and they're not sitting in dirt, it's awesome that they'll all come out amazing. So that's another tip.
Well, there you go.
One last tip.
One last thing
is to buy a timer for your watering and use soaker hoses and a drip water system, because that's always way better than forgetting to water. It's better than just using a sprinkler like your lawn sprinkler. It's better than trying to remember to water your plants and then you water them from the top. It's really much better for your watering to come from the soil itself. So with a soaker hose, which is on the ground, you're not like getting the leaves and all your flowers wet and shitty. Make sure you set everything up. Put it on a timer, water twice a day. Make sure you get all your water regularly.
Get it wet. Everything works better when it's wet.
Get it wet. Everything's better when it's wet. So there was one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about this week that after I made many purchases already. Things are coming in the mail.
Really?
Yeah. There's one more thing that we are going to be getting, and I'm very, very excited about it.
You're always purchasing stuff.
Yes. Well, this particular one I'm very excited about. Do you remember when we met this guy, Anthony Camel, at the Winning premiere?
Oh, at Corolla's movie premiere, yeah.
Yeah. We met this guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember him, yeah.
He owns a store in California called Forever Faithful Diamonds.
Right.
So he
hands me his card. He's like, when you're ready to buy her some really nice diamonds, like, give me a call.
Yeah. But he doesn't do just diamonds, though. He makes jewelry. He does everything custom made.
Right, like custom stuff. I remember
Yeah,
he was
like
saying
whatever,
that
like if you can think of it,
yeah,
he can make it.
that's exactly what he said. He
Yeah.
goes, anything you want, he goes, I can make you anything, which I thought was so cool.
Yeah, and what's very cool about him, he had written to me, and he was saying that everything he does is a money-back guarantee. Like, if you give him a deposit and he makes you whatever you want, if you don't like it, he gives you back all of your money.
Can he make me like a grill, like diamond teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should probably wear that on Catch a Contractor because
No.
Just think how intimidating I would be if I walked in with like a full grill of diamonds.
No. Okay, no. So anyway, I because we get so much messaging and emails. Like sometimes I miss some messages and stuff. So every once in a while I have the time to scroll through all my messages, and I came across his message. I was like, oh yeah, that guy who makes the jewelry.
Yeah,
because I had this really, really fucking cool idea for a piece that I wanted, and I said, you know what? I don't even want to say what it is because I want to see if he can make it. I'm sure he can. I just can't wait. I don't want to say what it is though, because I want to go through this whole process of him making this thing, seeing how it turns out, and then doing a reveal like we do on the show. But doing a reveal on our website so that everybody can see what it is that I've come up with in my head that he is going to put into fruition.
It's going to be basically a cat.
No, it's not cat jewelry. It's not cat jewelry, but it's going to be something very cool and unique, and that's why I don't even want to say what it is, because I can guarantee you that nobody has what I came up with in my brain.
Wow.
Yes, it's going to be that unique. So therefore, I put it out there to him, and he's going to do it, and I'm very excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, so he has a website, foreverfaithfuldiamonds.com. He's going to be working on it. And
he showed us that night, on the iPhone and
he's
stuff.
He's got rings, and he makes special, he makes
amazing
unique
site,
jewelry.
by the way. His jewelry is just incredible.
Yeah, and he's a gemologist, and he does he can do anything jewelry. He can create anything. So his website, he said he's going to be expanding on it because right now it's pretty much limited to mostly rings and some other pieces of jewelry that he had created, but he's going to make a bigger website. But my point with that is that I spoke to him on the telephone. Just call him up. I mean, his number's on the website.
Right.
I called him up, and we spoke on the phone, and I told him about my idea, and he was like, absolutely, he could do it. And there's nothing, like the mattress. You got nothing to lose because if you don't like it, he gives you back all of your money.
Right.
So it's a 100% you like it or you don't pay for anything.
Right. So, that goes across the board, I think, with any type of, someone that is a craft person that makes stuff, like they want you to be happy with it no matter what. That's a true sign of a professional. They're going to put their all into it, and if it's not what you want, just give it back to me and I'll make you another one. And that's someone who like stands behind his work. So
Yeah. I really
that's pretty
like.
impressive.
Yeah, because there's nothing to fear. Like there's no worry. Like, oh no, I'm going to spend all this money on whatever, and and I don't like it.
Yeah, you send it back, he'll melt it down and make you another one.
Or give you your money back.
Yeah, right.
Well, in which case, I'd really like to have what I like, though. Because why bother going through all of it? So
Well, I got news for you. The pictures that he showed me were like amazing stuff. So I mean, it looked to me like he can make anything.
yeah, so I'm stoked. But what I'm more stoked about is that he's going to make something so unique that nobody else has because it came out of my brain.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm very, very excited. So if you guys are interested in having something custom made,
That's going to be
contact
some
Anthony.
freaky looking jewelry because there's a lot of stuff kicking around up there.
Well, yes, because you've already mentioned that I make jewelry, but I make costume jewelry. I don't make anything
Yeah,
like
you
with,
do. You make some
with
very different kind of
actual-
stuff.
I don't make things like with real like gems, like
Yeah,
like
you do like a lot
diamonds
of
or,
beaded stuff.
yeah,
And, yeah.
like natural things like
Yeah,
stones
and
and
some hippie chick stuff. And,
right. That's
yeah,
the kind of thing
right,
I do. But he
right.
makes actual like jewelry with gemstones, gold, and
Right.
such. And so he's at foreverfaithfuldiamonds.com. His phone number, if you guys want to call him, because he's real fly, is 949-463-0635. And, he'll make you whatever the hell you want.
Call him up. Check out the website. Got some great stuff going on. You guys will be happy you did.
But stay tuned to see what I'm getting, because I'm very, very, very excited about it.
Nice.
So with that being said, next, do I have any type of random thoughts? Because I
don't know.
I haven't been thinking a lot lately.
Is there anything up there rattling around?
I don't know. Oh my God, I have a random thought.
Let's hear it.
I've got one random thought. Here we go.
They're just random thoughts that go through my head.
Allison's brain is working overtime. Could be while she's driving or standing in line. So what is she thinking? What goes through her thoughts? Is it something profound or fucking just pissed her off? You ready for random thoughts? You ready for random thoughts?
Well, that's not the random thought.
That's the cat. That was. If that's your random thought, there's less going on up there than I thought. Wow, I know you're blonde. All right, but I mean, there's got to be something more rattling around up in that dome.
I always try to get, because he's got such crazy meows. So when he
That's
does, I try
funny,
to get it
man.
on
Oh, my
recording.
God. And there you have it.
Oh,
That's what goes through Alison Bedells' mind every day. Meow.
I was just going to say that. That's awesome. Okay, here's a random thought. I don't have a new random thought. I don't have another random thought. I just had the cat meow.
So there you have it. That's it. Meow.
Oh, God.
You waited an hour and a half to the end of the podcast to hear that. They were waiting on the edge of their seats. I can't wait to hear Alison's random thought. It's a favorite part of the podcast. Meow.
That's all there was. Yeah, just the one.
For those of you who have pussy on the brain, there you go. Meow.
Yeah.
All right. There it is, guys. We
That's
want to thank
why.
you all for coming back each and every week to Hammer and Nails Podcast. We hope you all enjoyed it. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for telling your friends. And go on the website. Check out
The Amazon links. Don't forget, we've got
Yeah.
Amazon links on our website. That helps us out a lot. We really appreciate it.
We have great links to great products on there, stuff that we love to use each and every day. And they're not stuff that we're getting paid to talk about. It's just stuff that we really believe in and we want to share with you guys. So check it out. Tell your friends about the podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.